So he was this Minecraft YouTuber guy. You know, back when it wasn't cool to do that on the internet and you didn't get millions of stans. Then he was a part of that Philip DeFranco. You've probably seen him. He's like kind of like middle 30 something like guy. He does the news. Anyways, BuzzFeed ripoff thing called SourceFed until it got shut down because, of course, that's a terrible idea that's not going to make its budget back. When he gets fired, though, well, forced to quit, I guess, he makes this vlog with two of his best friends, and it's some of the best content on the site. Sort of a blur between actual vlogs and improv comedy with more technical and storytelling prowess than anyone was doing back then. That does really well, wins awards, and gets picked up by a company called Rooster Teeth. And he rides that wave for a while until the company drops them, which was devastating. He's pretty quiet for a bit, other than a podcast that he ran on the channel with the vlogs. And then during the peak of the Ronus, when everyone was getting their social interactions through playing Among Us, which was truly the darkest timeline, he started getting popular by playing that on Twitch. And it turns out he just so happens to make some of the best bedroom pop that there is, and this is my favorite song that he's done. I know, right? I've always wanted to hear more of a modern twist on a Fleetwood Mac song, if it was done right, and he just does it so well while still capturing the essence of the original. It obviously doesn't have the harmonies of the original, but his vocal tonality is so unique. It scratches a certain part of my brain that doesn't usually get reached in the genre. It's ethereal. It is pure gas. Oh, speaking of gas, and I promise this was not pre-planned, although I truly wish it was because that would mean that I am the master of comedy. That pretty little light has just turned on, so we need to go fill up the tank. And perfect timing also, because if you look on your right, we have our destination. And it looks like there's a burger joint there, so we can eat while we're there and kill two birds with one stone. Yeah, it is kind of a dumb saying. It's a weird thing from Greek mythology where Daedalus hits two birds with one stone to get some feathers, and it's really pointless. So, since we should probably gas up before we eat, just in case, it runs out or anything bad happens, or it's like the meter is misreading or something, my passenger princess... I'm not teasing you, it's completely factual. You drove an hour at the beginning, had to pull over to pee, very convenient, and now I've been going at it for the past 7 hours while you have 2 blankets in your lap and crumbs all over them. By the way, make sure to transfer those outside carefully this time. You know how difficult it is to clean those Cheeto stains off of the carpet when you stomp them in. Anyways, as I was saying before I was unrightfully refuted, when we gas up, do you want to be on pump duty or snack duty? All right, snack duty it is. Since I have a feeling, call it a hunch, that I'll be driving for the rest of the night, I think I have to focus on sugar to keep me up. So, I'll go with a 1 liter cherry Coke, and if they don't have that size, I'll just go 20 ounces. 2 liters would put me into a catatonic state, probably. I'll get one of those lemon Danishes that you hate. No, it's not just to keep you away from my snacks, although that is definitely a perk. I'll take a bag of peanut butter M&Ms, and I'm talking family-sized. Hey, unless you're willing to drive, I want no judgment coming from you. They're the perfect micro-dosing of sugar and will help me string out that high until I crash in a random hotel room. And finally, to balance out all of that sweetness, I guess I'll just take a Slim Jim. Don't you look at me like that. Let's just say that I'm getting a head start on my freshman 15. And speaking of getting a head start on that, let's go get the tank filled so we can fill ourselves with trash burgers from a random place in the middle of nowhere. I will never speak another ill word on burger places in the middle of nowhere. That is the best burger I've had in my life. Yeah, I'm glad that we just decided to pick it up and eat in the parking lot, because I don't know if I would feel comfortable with anyone other than you seeing how I devoured that burger with reckless abandon. Whatever sauce they put on this tastes like a combination of mac sauce and chipotle mayo, and I don't even know how you get those flavors to fuse like that, but wow. Yes, okay, I will 100% give you credit for the cheese curds. I can't believe how big they are. It's like they're giant mozzarella stick cheese curd hybrids, and dipping it in that sauce, I don't know if I'll be able to drive anymore with this food coma I feel coming on. You know you can ask me anything. Except to go get us seconds, because as great as that sounds, I don't think my body would be able to handle it. Nervous? Yeah, I am definitely nervous about this whole thing. I mean, we never really left the state when we were kids, and now here we are, taking a pickup truck filled with 2 bags of stuff for each of us to go start the rest of our lives across the country. I probably would have chickened out of going if it wasn't for you. I mean, if we didn't have the money to afford an apartment together on campus, it would have been a little different. But thankfully, that's just a hypothetical situation. No matter what goes on with our lives, or how difficult the change in environment and familiarity will be, or how different classes in a university campus compare to high school, we both know that at the end of the day, we can come back to a caring and supportive environment, which is something a lot of people don't have when doing something like this. Yeah, it's probably going to be difficult at first, in all aspects, really, but once again, the big shining star there is you. You'll always be by my side to catch me when I start falling into doubt, and you know I'll do the same for you. Get real. You aren't blind enough to see how great you are at making friends. You weren't voted homecoming queen for no reason. You're great with people, and I'm sure by the time we come home from the first day of classes, you will bring home your new best friend and kick me out of the place. Nah, I'm kidding. For the most part. Although, because I know what a social butterfly you are and how you have no idea how much of a social butterfly you are, I do kind of worry that you might find a group that you bond with immediately and maybe leave me at the wayside a little. And now you're looking at me like how you look at me whenever I tell you I haven't watched the most recent episode of Drag Race, which can be boiled down to a combination of disgust and confusion. What don't I know? I don't know a lot, and I don't even know the thing that you think I don't know, which... Sorry, I just confused myself a little. What are we talking about? I know I'm an idiot. This isn't new information, so I don't know why we have to Wow. I didn't know. I know this sounds a little odd, but, could you touch me? I need you to touch me. I promise you that this will be a good thing. Just put your hand on my face, all right? Thank you. Because I needed to know that this wasn't the recurring dream I have about this exact moment almost every single day, and to know that I won't wake up back in my bed 8 hours away when I do this. for that for years. I just didn't know you felt the same way. That's not fair. You know me well enough to know that I can't get signals at all. Looking back on even just a minute ago, I really didn't know what you were talking about, even though it was the most obvious thing of all time. I also kinda, as you know, have self-esteem issues, and I think you're the best person I know. Well, if we both have the same opinion of each other, then I guess this should work out perfectly, huh? As much as I could do this for hours, and eventually we will do this for hours, we have to leave now if we want to get in at even a decent time. No! We have snacks, and we have to leave. Oh, don't you dare give me the puppy dog eyes, you manipulator. You're really gonna do this to me? Fine. We can get another order of cheese curd mozzarella stick monsters, but we're gonna save the dip for the apartment. Okay, deal.